Hey, my name is Joe,
And I'm Mary Beth.
and this is the best of GenX.
We are in our 40s.
And we're siblings,
We'll talk about adulting in a world so different from the one we grew up in,
so excuse us while we save a generation.
one episode at a time.
Let's go.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Mary Beth.
How are you?
I'm well. We are back. I'm back in the saddle.
Back in the United States.
Yes.
Well, I feel like first things first, I have to give a formal apology for the audio issues in the last episode. Andy brought her A game. I did not. So for the last 30 minutes of the episode, I didn't know until I was home editing, so it was too late to do anything about it. But the last 30 minutes of the episode, her mic had stopped working, which fortunately my mic picked her up. You can still hear it. It's still a great episode. She brought some really great information. But when we were coming back from break, was the same time that I had to check in for our flight. And so I was distracted and didn't notice that her track wasn't blinking. So I just felt terrible about that. But the episode is actually doing really well as far as downloads. So I hope that people still get out of it what we intended.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to say you weren't on your A game. Maybe technology aside, I thought you did really well. I thought you came with some good questions. You know, there was a lot of good back and forth, no crazy pauses or anything, but I thought the content itself was very interesting.
Content was awesome. I learned a lot.
I jokingly said it's an episode I'm glad I missed because it really wasn't my bag, but I thought y'all put it together really well and had a lot of good information that you shared. Helpful.
Good.
And we listened to it, right? Like you said,
We did.
while we were on our trip of a lifetime. That we will
Yeah, we listened to it in the car because we had quite a drive.
As we were driving through sheep farm villages. We'll get into that, but yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Outside of that, I thought Andy did really, really well too.
She absolutely
was
did.
A natch.
She's a natural, and I can't wait to have her back to talk about pain because she can do a whole episode on pain.
Yeah. And
there's so many fascinating things about it and how the brain processes pain and how the body stores things, you know. So I just, she has so much more to share, and we definitely will, I can't wait to have her on again.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because I think like the crux of this whole podcast when we created it was like most of it was like nostalgia purposes, but then it became like we want to, like you said, share some things that is like helpful,
right?
Such as pelvic health or whatever.
Yeah, the stuff no one talks about, no one warns you about.
So we go into like these shows that we like or toys that we played with or, you know, whatever the case is, music but from the 80s and 90s. But then we pop in with something like this. And as we were driving in the car listening to that episode, all four kind of caught ourselves going, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize. You know what I mean? So it's like also informational.
Yeah, there's so much about our health that we find out accidentally. Maybe a relative is going through it or we are going through it, and just it's stuff mostly, as far as I can tell, things that nobody warned us about, and you know, until it's happening to you. And so they're just a lot of conversations like this need to continue, and I'm glad that she and I could have
me too.
been part of that.
I mean, there's a couple of reasons I liked it. Obviously, it was helpful information. It was fun to listen to, and I was really excited. Honestly, I thought it was really special that you two got to do that just together.
Yeah.
You know, because you and I doing it is special, but you and Andy doing it, I know that had to feel good for you.
Our very first.
Because of the history you guys have together.
Very first and possibly only guest host.
Right. So, you know, I was just like listening to it in the car, and I was kind of like getting a little sentimental, thinking, man, this is great. Like, you see how far we've come. You know, we used to hang out as kids in high school and college, and to see you guys, or not see, but to hear you guys do something like that together was really neat.
Yeah, we had a good time.
So yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that. Still a great episode. Give it a check.
For sure. I'm glad it's doing well. Deservingly so. We are going to get into, again, the trip of a lifetime.
We're going to jump right in.
So that's what the episode today is about. But I just want to kind of lay the framework on, you know, how this trip started, how you guys got involved. Just recap the whole scenario so everybody kind of has a picture in their mind of from the the origin story of this trip. So I obviously have said multiple times I've never owned a passport. Got a passport in January. Said it's time to start taking some trips. Right?
Yeah.
There's life to live. There's places to see, people to meet.
And I think even our last episode of the year, last year, we were...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Different cultures to experience. And so got the passport. Didn't really know where I was going to use it. I had a lot of people say, "Oh, that's cool. Where are you going?"
Don't know.
I have no idea. But the possibilities is what really excited me. And so, we booked this trip, I think, 2-3 months ago, whatever it was. And, Kajal and I were going on this trip, and I was really excited. I was like, this is going to be a neat experience. It's a place I've always wanted to go. I think at first I wanted to do like the Ireland, Scotland kind of, combo trip.
Well, we had talked about, just
Yeah.
Great Britain or whatever.
Right. But not doing those kind of trips before, I didn't know how feasible I just assumed it was feasible to do both. And so, we knew we were going to go for about 2 weeks, 10 days, whatever it was. And then you, rightfully so, were like, "Oh, I want to go."
Because we had talked about it.
We had talked about it. And I certainly felt bad because I was like, I want to go with Mary Beth, being my first time and her first time. But I also, we had a chance to go right away. I didn't know how long it was going to take for you to be able to go. So I was like, I was kind of in that weird spot. So we started planning.
Then I threw you a curveball and said, I have the PTO.
Oh,
I have the money.
So fast forward, we're going to this Thai place, which, by the way, if anybody lives in our area, Time for Thai, amazing place in Louisville.
Very good.
So we're sitting down eating just a lunch or whatever, and you were like, "Hey, I have PTO, I can go." And we were like, So then the wheels started spinning a little bit, and you were like, "Josh can probably get off too." And so it all was just perfect. Worked out the way it did. I'm glad you guys got to experience it with us. But that's kind of how the idea of it started. And then we just started planning and putting this itinerary together. A lot of it was, to be fair, on TikTok. You see all these videos of people that have been there. And so I'm just trying to piece together all these collection of videos to say, where should we start? Where should we end up? How many days here? How many days there? And so this trip kind of started out with, you fly into Edinburgh, which TikTok taught us how to pronounce it. So it reads like Edinburgh, but it's Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
Because I even got into the habit of calling it Edinburgh, and then I kept watching TikTok. It's Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
So we fly into Edinburgh, and the idea was, the country, so now that we know this, because we've been there, the country's not very big. And so we want to make sure we hit all of the interesting spots that we'd seen on TikTok. So we start out driving west to Glasgow, which was about, what was it, like 50 minutes?
Ish.
Yeah, ish. So we go to Glasgow, and we're going to stay there for a couple of days, which we did. And we'll get into all the experiences. But we start at Glasgow, then we start going north, what they call the Highlands. And we hit Isle of Skye, Glencoe, Inverness, Portree, which is the capital of Isle of Skye, which we'll get into. Amazing. And then we kind of work our way back towards the east of the country, and we hit Dundee, we hit St. Andrews, which I was really geeked about. And then you kind of work your way, and St. Andrews was only about maybe another 50 minutes to Edinburgh. So we go from St. Andrews and spend a couple of days there, so we're basically ending the trip in Edinburgh. Which
we sort of did a circle.
Yeah, and Edinburgh is like the main kind of big city with, the tourist attractions and all that. And that's where it was going to be the busiest we knew. But there was a lot to see there. So we budgeted 3 days in Edinburgh to end the trip, which was about 10 days, and then we flew back home. So that was kind of the track that we took. Yeah,
just to put it in some context for you. It was like 12 days total.
Yeah. So apparently in Scotland, when they say it's just a wee walk, what they mean is a death march with stairs.
Oh my. Yeah. And we're still recovering. Let's just say pain relievers and compression socks were our constant travel companions.
But I think it was worth every sore calf because I had some of that. But because this wasn't just any trip, this was our first time in Europe. I mean, this was our first time in Europe altogether. And finally, after talking about it on the podcast, like we said, for the past year, we just made it happen, just said we got to do it.
And of course, we didn't do it alone. My husband, Josh, came with us, and he's here to share his version of events.
What's up, Josh?
Aye.
Joshua Dale is in the house.
That's all I can say is aye.
Yeah. But instead of doing the day by day recap. We've kind of broken this down into the fun stuff. So we're going to talk about the biggest surprises, the places we love the most, and maybe why, what we do differently next time if we have the chance, and then the things we didn't love.
Basically, the unfiltered GenX guide to your first trip in Scotland: castles, pubs, jet lag, and yes, even a touch of the Scotland flu.
The flu.
It's not cool.
And please,
We're
people,
still recovering.
Yeah.
You can't tell over the mics here. So
I want to put the disclaimer out there. Everybody's going to hear us talk Scottish a little bit because we're kind of still in that mode.
we tell you
Can't
why.
help it.
I didn't ken.
I didn't ken. It's just gonna happen. You're gonna have to just get over it.
So Mary Beth,
Let's begin.
okay,
with
let's
our
get
biggest
right into it.
biggest surprises. So like culture, logistics, just the traveling there, how it felt to finally be abroad. What would you say some of your biggest surprises were when you got
Want me
there?
to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Didn't think the flight was that bad.
No,
I was
look,
expecting a 7.5, 8 hour flight to kind of suck pretty bad. Now I did, to be fair, I had exit row seats. So, but I just didn't think the time kind of went quick. I thought I didn't think it felt like
On the
it was
way there,
7.5.
I agree.
Yeah.
the way there wasn't near as bad as I thought it was gonna be either. Like it passed by pretty quickly, but I didn't get any sleep on the plane.
Yeah,
I
struggled
was
to
too
sleep
excited
on-
about going to the
Yeah,
trip.
I
you
was
know?
excited too. I struggle to sleep on planes in general.
Well, you bring everything you can to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I had my magnesium glycinate, I had my sleeping pill, we had
You had your
compression
pharmacy.
socks,
You had your pharmacy with you.
I had a cozy shawl, we had neck pillows, but still, you can't quite fully prepare.
No,
I mean,
you
until
really
you're
can't.
there, you just don't know how you're going to feel. It was very difficult. Just the seats we were in by the exit, and then we arranged to sit near you.
Mm-hmm.
I had never been, first of all, on a long flight like that I can remember. I was a baby when I
It was the longest flight
Traveled.
I've ever been on.
for sure. Me too.
I didn't anticipate not having access to my personal bag. Because of where we were sitting, we didn't have a row of seats in front of us. We had a wall.
Yeah.
So that kind of bummed me out because it gave me less to do because I just wasn't prepared to like not have that, my backpack full of things. But for the most part, I agree. It was a pretty easy flight compared to what was in my imagination.
It was my first in-flight meal.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah,
Same.
you know, I was like,
Oh, same, yeah.
I didn't never really, I've never had a flight long enough to even have a meal.
Right.
other
The
than-
longest flight I had ever had at that point was like 3.5 hours to Vegas.
right?
Whatever.
And to have
Domestic.
a long enough flight for a meal, I was like, man, that's kind of neat.
You
What do we
felt-
think of airplane food?
It was basic. I mean, if I'm being honest, it
You know,
was basic.
if you can go back to like elementary school, like lunches, and the flash frozen stuff, it's kind of about what it's like. It's still tasty, but
It was
you know,
okay.
it wasn't like you're gonna eat it because
Yeah.
you're hungry.
Yeah, they're not giving you like fine china. And
Yeah, they're not gonna break
cutlery.
out. They're not gonna break out like the towels and
Yeah. It
Let
was.
me-
It served its purpose. I'll say.
sure it did.
Yeah. So like, okay, once we were there, my biggest surprise was the smell. Now, Scotland, I love you. Still love you. But I noticed it as soon as we landed and I went to the airport bathroom. There was this air freshener. I was sure it was the air freshener.
Told you, Clovis.
It was an odd smell, and I think it's my age. Some of the things Andy and I talked about is one of the symptoms. Just this keen sense of smell is overpowering. It made me a little sick. It was a mix of like a sickly sweet mixed with some kind of heavy clover. I was like, oh, okay, I don't know if I can handle
It might
this.
be your perimenopause, sweetheart.
Do you feel like you smelled that throughout the trip?
Well, that's what I was going to say. It started in the airport bathroom. I thought it was the air freshener.
Because I know the smell you're talking.
Yeah,
it's-
and then
it
we
was
got to
strong.
our
It was
first
different.
hotel, and I smelled it as soon as I walked in the lobby. It wasn't as strong, but then there were places where I smelled it. It seemed on a person as if it were a cologne.
Yeah, yep.
So I could never quite put my finger on where it was coming from and what was causing it, but it was a constant thread throughout the country. It was just not
Always present.
not
Like,
great for
it
me.
wasn't going
I
away,
didn't
was it?
like that smell. So that
Right.
kind of, as far as culture shock, that was a little bit.
It was haggis eau de parfum.
It could have been a little bit of the haggis. Neeps and tatties.
Yeah, but like kind of staying on the food topic, I thought the food in the country was phenomenal.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Some of the best
And
I've ever
I
had.
only count that as a big surprise because I just had this preconceived notion that I was going to go there and the food was going to be rough. Like I wasn't going to enjoy the food
I
at
second
all.
that.
Well, that whole part of the world, Great Britain, whatever, they don't have a great culinary reputation necessarily. They're not known
You
for
would
their.
think.
They're not known for their food, but
I was very impressed.
I was too.
I was
impressed.
too. Like,
I can't remember one place we ate that I was like, ugh. Like,
Yeah.
You know, not
Right.
drastically like, ugh.
Right. Even the pub food. Like you're thinking,
Yeah.
you're going into pub food going like, man, this could be, feast or famine here. But
Yeah.
man, like every bit of the pubs we went to,
Yeah.
from the, dropping names on some, restaurants here. I can't remember the name of the one.
Well, there was the Spanish one we ate at. It was
Johnny Fox's.
Cafe Andaluz, and I was like, I was
Cafe
going into it,
Andaluz.
and I was like a little iffy on it, but I liked it. You know what I mean? It's
Fig
like
and
there was no
Thistle.
place that I really,
I mean, all those places were fantastic, man.
yeah. But yeah, the food, I was pleasantly surprised. I was also pleasantly surprised about Glasgow.
Yeah.
I have on my biggest surprise list. Glasgow was fun.
Glasgow was
fast.
awesome.
And I think we started there thinking that was just, we're only going to be there 2 nights. We kind of took it for granted a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was very underrated, I thought.
Yeah, I feel like we bought into the hype a little bit about what we saw on TikTok.
Which is mainly Edinburgh.
Yeah,
And
but
the Highlands.
Glasgow was awesome, and so
I
that
love
surprised
Glasgow.
me.
And it was cheaper.
And and our hotel, we stayed at the Kimpton,
Blythewood
Square,
Yeah.
Unreal. It's an IHG property. That's
and it was a spa.
Oh, the spa was.
And
So
it had
our-
a snow room.
It was a snow room.
First of all, it was the first hotel I've ever stayed in where it gave you a robe. and
Yeah.
slippers.
You felt very regal.
Yes,
I
but
felt
they
important.
had a spa in the bottom level that was so cool.
Oh,
I mean, you had your heated pool and your
Sauna.
jacuzzis and your sauna and your steam room and even a snow room, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Yeah.
And there was like a separate little pool that had the big jets.
Yeah.
With like the stars. It was dark, which, I liked that one.
I bet.
But
There was an ambiance.
I don't think we're going to do it justice because visually it was stunning.
It
It was
was.
very stunning.
But
I
Glasgow
felt like
was just
I felt
very
like there
cool.
was going to be this dude walking around with like a prom vest and like passing like with a black tray of like Andy's mints. Yeah. So would you like mint? Which is an English accent.
It was neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree. Glasgow was fun. I would definitely go back to Glasgow. I think my biggest issue and why I took it for granted was, like we said, most of the touristy like videos we saw was Edinburgh, and the 1 or 2 Glasgow videos I saw, to me it looked dingy outside. So in my mind, that's what I was thinking it was going to be, but it was the opposite. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So good call.
So
on that
I was
one.
surprised.
I thought the people were really nice in Scotland.
Oh, they really were.
They were. Like, I was prepared for people to treat Americans like dumb,
Get out of my way.
tourists.
Yeah.
But everybody, like, from the start, everybody was so friendly.
Everybody was great until we got to St. Andrews. And I say St. Andrews for a reason. We get to Dundee, I guess, where we're staying there, and there's like a little, like a 21-year-old party or bachelorette party or whatever.
Yeah. So, like,
So
the
we're getting
restaurant part of our hotel was blocked off for a private party of this girl who's turning 21, which we thought was odd because they can drink at a very early age in Scotland. So 21 does not seem like a big milestone, but whatever.
Yeah,
they were
but
partying.
they had like tiaras and these like sashes, so we thought it was like a bachelor party of some
Or a
sort.
bachelorette party, right.
Or a bachelorette party.
And like this, I guess the bellkeeper or whatever was kind of helping me and Bet get the, luggage into the elevator, and there's these 3 girls that were walking by, and like he held the door or whatever and shoved in like a portion of the bag. I was like, "Thank you, sir," and then the lady goes,
That happened just as
"Thank
these
you,
girls,
sir."
just as these girls were walking back into their party, and one of them really over exaggerated his American accent and goes, "Thank you, sir."
So we all kind of do it. Like
You
we
got
all,
mocked.
even though I got mocked so bad. Like as
like
the door
you've
was
made
shutting,
it.
Right.
As the door was shutting, it's like you heard it. I was like,
Josh
"That's
and I
the
started
best
laughing.
thing ever."
I was like,
listen-
"Josh, You just got mocked by a Scottish girl.
Yeah, which is totally fair because we were talking Scottish as soon as we got off the plane.
We were doing it.
And we've made it. We've made it full circle.
Josh got mocked.
So
yeah, but
good.
I don't even think, like, it wasn't even rude. It was funny
It was fantastic.
because she was
She was
over-exaggerating.
mocking the U.S. accent. Love it. I have another one.
Okay.
I'm a diet soda fanatic, as you know, unfortunately. The only diet soda options are basically Diet Coke and Coke Zero.
That's it.
In America, you know, you can go to the gas station or the grocery store and get Diet Mountain Dew, Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm not suggesting that Scotland doesn't have those at all, but like everywhere we went, the main ones were just Diet Coke and Coke Zero. And that was your choice, and that was it. Unless it was like a Fanta. The Fanta's pretty big there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have that local Iron Brew, which...
Iron Brew.
Iron Brew was kind of like
Iron Brew.
It was like a bubblegum tasting soda.
It tastes like bubblegum.
Yeah, I had the sugar-free version, so I wouldn't care for that too much. But in general, Diet Coke, Coke Zero. That was your option.
That's it.
And they served, in a lot of places like that Italian place in Glasgow, served in those little bottles.
Yes.
Yeah.
old school.
They had bottled soda.
Yeah, that's kinda cool.
Old-fashioned.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And the food tasted so good. Like, I reiterated in the food, like, it was, how do I say, it's authentic. It was
Just tasted fresh.
It tasted fresh.
It was
food.
fresh.
Yeah.
It was made from scratch from grandma. Like, it was, you know, home cooked meal, you know.
Yeah, I noticed right off the bat that the food we were eating didn't seem as processed. Like,
Artificial.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously, I mean, haggis isn't processed. Even though there's 6.6 million sheep and like 5.2 million people.
Dude, we saw a lot of sheep.
yeah,
sheep
this-
everywhere, man.
that was another big surprise. I expected to see Highland coos.
Well, there were coos everywhere, too.
I expected to see that everywhere. We saw sheep more than anything.
And so it forced us to Google.
Yes.
How many
Yeah.
people are in Scotland?
Well, several days into the trip, I finally asked the question, how many people versus sheep? I said, there have to be more sheep than people in this country. And so we found out there is.
Per capita, there is.
By about 1 million.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like five and a half million Scottish people and like 6-something million.
But they're the cute blackface sheep, like
Yeah.
the perfect stereotypical cartoonish.
And they had like those markings on them. I think Josh pointed out in the car. They had like blue like spray paint markings on them.
Yeah.
Several different colors.
So
Yeah.
people
Pink,
could keep
blue,
track.
Green.
Interesting.
That's the McFarland sheep over
Man,
there. You got
listen,
to put it back to the.
You start going north in Scotland,
man.
and you will see some sheep.
That's right.
You will
Right.
See, you will see all the sheep you can handle.
That's right. That's right.
But that was a surprise. I expected to see more of the cows, but
But it, for people listening, it makes sense to me because if haggis is the national dish in Scotland, I mean, they cook it like sheep lung.
That's right.
Got to have some sheep.
Got to
do
have some
that.
sheep. You're gonna do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what about our favorite places and why?
Ooh, I'm excited for this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, here we go.
I'll let Josh go first.
Man, favorite place.
Guest first.
Other than all of them, like if I had to narrow it down to one, I loved going up Isle of Skye, Glencoe, and just seeing the landscape and how the pictures didn't do the land justice.
Yeah, agreed.
Of how lush the green was, of how lush the mountain, how big the mountains were, how the clouds touched the mountains. It was just
Yeah.
There's just something about the majestic nature of seeing the
It
countryside.
was so beautiful. Looked fake.
It did. It looked like it wasn't real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree on that one. I felt like, I mean, I had seen pictures, obviously. I'd seen videos, but nothing prepared me for the majesty
Right.
of the landscape from our drive to from Glasgow through the Glencoe Valley to Inverness and Isle of Skye. I was awestruck.
Like Loch Lomond was like one of the things too, where just feeling the creek water on your face and feeling the creek water with your hands and how brisk and cold it was. It brought you back to your childhood when you were a kid playing in the snow, or those kind of moments just kind of resonated with me with being there in that aspect of that.
Yeah, so the major standouts for me, seeing the Three Sisters in Glencoe, seeing Old Man of Store,
Yes.
seeing how just standing there, you would pull over to the side of the road and there were tourists, stopping to take pictures. You're standing at the base of a volcano, basically, and to just look up so much to where your neck hurts, like to see the clouds or the mountains touch the clouds. And it was so green, so lush.
Yeah.
I was just blown away by the Isle of Skye. I thought it was so gorgeous.
And standing there, you would think it's close.
Yeah.
But it's really not.
It looks
right.
hikeable.
It looks like you're just ready to take an hour trip up there.
was like an hour up and an hour down. I mean, it's a legit move up to that.
Yeah, and I was prepared to do
formation.
it, but we didn't have time based on other things we were doing.
But at least we saw it. We were at the base and we saw
But
it.
it was
That's right.
gorgeous. And
And I might add to of the Three Sisters, I wanted to remind you that there was also a hidden valley to the left where the ranch is made.
yeah, he said, Josh read the sign that they had, and he comes over all excited and tells us, this is the Three Sisters, which I had seen videos of. And he was like, and over there is the Hidden Valley. And I was like, the ranch distillery?
That's where the ranch was made.
Yeah.
Hidden Valley Ranch, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know that.
But definitely Isle of Skye was just breathtaking. And for me, Castle Cawdor
Yeah, that was cool too.
and Loch Ness, those were my
was really
standouts.
cool. I love that. My standout was obviously St. Andrews, as anybody knows.
yeah.
I'm a big golf fan, and just being there just felt like I was looking in Santa's workshop. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
you were so excited.
I loved the
Your
St.
face
Andrews
was
photos.
like indescribable.
Oh, dude. We were there 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. It was amazing. I was just felt surreal to just be standing on the grounds that, so many legends have been on and just watching it on TV as a kid. So I really love that part of the trip. So got some good souvenirs to take back home.
Pictures on the bridge.
Yeah, St.
Picture on the
Andrews.
Swoken Bridge. Got to play putt-putt on the course.
It was exciting
Which was
for me.
hard, by the way.
It was hard.
I mean,
Undulation. It was like
right?
It was like legit. It wasn't like a fake putt-putt course. It was like the grass and everything was the course. It was all
Right.
connected to the course.
And
but
kudos on being the
And
only
wasn't
one
it
to hit
really
a home
hilly?
run there
It was
too. By
that's
the way.
what undulation basically means, and it was like they had these like cups with the little flags on them, so it was on the course. It was
Yeah.
really cool. Loved every bit of
They
that.
call it the Himalayan course.
And they close it on, so everybody knows they close it on Sunday, so the public can just walk around and they treat it like a public park.
Right. That was something we were really excited about, especially you. I mean, part of my joy on the trip was seeing your joy at St. Andrews because it was such a lifelong dream of yours. However, that's just around the time that I got sick. We'll talk about the sickness in the second half, but
Yeah, let's not go there.
the sickness hit us hard.
But that was top for me. Isle of Skye, Portree, Dunvegan Castle. Those kind of 3 spots stuck out to me as well.
Yeah, and I had waited my whole life to see Loch Ness. And did we decide how to pronounce Urquhart?
It's Urquhart.
Urquhart. So it's Urquhart Castle is on Loch Ness, and it's basically the remains. I mean, it's a medieval remains of a castle. So you get to walk through and all that, but then you can walk down
To
the shore of Loch Ness, and I had so much fun, like skipping rocks with you guys.
Josh is
Yeah.
a rock skipping
Hey
pro.
man, that's
Josh
fun stuff.
is-
I
Man.
mean, that cat was
gifted.
skipping it like 6 or 7 times.
Well, you got to find the good rocks, man. There's something to the rocks. You got to find
Yeah,
the good
but
ones.
once you find the rock,
Yeah, but you have to have the technique.
you have to have the
Yeah.
technique,
Josh
and you've
had the
got it.
technique.
I mean, I threw rocks as a kid, just to let you know.
It was a fine flick
I
of the
did.
wrist.
I flicked the wrist
It's
as
a
a
flick
kid.
of the wrist.
And
I can't do it. See,
a flick of the wrist.
Yeah, that thing was skipping like
we
crazy.
cannot do that.
but you were doing it really well, and then you were trying to teach Kajal, and she actually had a few good throws
Yeah,
in
she
there
did.
too.
She did.
But so I like Portree was really neat. I was really excited about Portree. It was like the capital of the Isle of Skye.
Portree was so
Just
cute.
a small little cute village, and it was raining, so we got all the elements. And I found a walking stick, which
I'm so upset.
don't
Wait.
I don't really want to get into it.
Man.
Let's backtrack.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Mary Beth found it.
So Kajal and I skip on down to the shore of Portree with the backdrop of those cute little pastel, yellow, pink, blue buildings behind us.
Yeah.
We get to the shore. I find this perfect stick that I think Joe needs as a walking stick. Because remember, listeners, our brother Joe is still recovering from knee replacement. Total knee replacement. So
And owned it like a boss on this trip. by the way,
I
by the
know,
way.
like he was the Energizer Bunny, like showed
Yeah,
us
man.
up,
Yeah.
limp and all. But I saw the stick and I was like, Joe, this needs to be your walking stick.
And I loved it.
And you had that stick for the rest of the trip.
I think you used the stick more than you used the
Now,
crutch.
just so people are aware, I didn't use the stick like around towns and stuff. But I brought it. I took it with every part of the trip. The hotels, I took it with me.
It stayed with us for the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
Sadly, no. We talked about how we were gonna get it home and like give it a coat,
Sand it, lacquer it,
get it lacquered,
Put it in the whiskey room.
put it in the
bourbon
whiskey room.
Yeah.
And then sadly, what happened?
It perished at the Atlanta customs.
Those bastards.
They took it and they said because it wasn't like sanded or taking the bark was basically the bark was still on it, so they had an issue with like potential bugs or whatever.
Whatever.
She took it from me and started like getting a knife and like cutting on it and stepping on it, and it perished.
Oh,
But I did get it. I did get it from Scotland to Atlanta.
pissed. Yeah, I thought it was gonna make it all the way home.
I was pretty pissed too. Actually, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
I understand.
But I liked Portree. In fact, the restaurant that we ate there, and I can't remember the name.
Best fish and chips I had probably the whole trip.
Best chicken Caesar salad ever.
You know what? I remember the name of it. It's the Antlers Bar and Grill.
Antlers.
Antlers Bar and Grill.
Good call.
If you go to Portree, the
Amazing.
Antlers is where it's
Or as
at.
the server
Yes.
said after you give them your order, amazing.
Amazing.
Antlers Bar and Grill. Unbelievable.
And they also say, no worries.
No worries.
No
Or they
worries.
say perfect. Perfect.
Give way.
But yeah. Oh, and by the way, Scotland has this thing for fish and chips. Okay.
Yeah.
Every time they serve fish and chips, didn't matter where we were, they served mushy peas. So U.S. listeners, or not really just U.S. listeners, but any listener that plans to maybe go to Scotland, expect some mushy peas, and it's just literally like a little side. Of
Where they just mashed them up.
Mashed them up, and I didn't really not used to that here, obviously. So yeah,
And they were good too. It wasn't bad.
it was not bad. So they just put
all edible.
They just put a big breaded piece of haddock on top of these fries, which they call chips, and there was a little thing of mushy peas next.
And so we're still in Isle of Skye right now because
Yep.
I think we all just really loved the.
It was just so picturesque.
It was picturesque is the perfect word.
If you could imagine every postcard ever probably taken, it was probably in this area of the
Yeah,
country.
Yeah.
and I was so disappointed in my iPhone 12. It really this trip, if anything, taught me that I'm ready to upgrade. I finally gave up taking pictures because Kajals were so much better, but it was so beautiful. But I mean, this shows my age and Gen X. But was I the only one on the drive up there getting the 3 men and a little lady vibes? Because in that movie, when they're driving through the countryside, trying to get to the church on time, blah, blah, and the sheep are literally blocking the road. Like, I had so many flashbacks to that movie. And
only after you said it, because I hadn't seen that movie in so long.
and also, we've talked about on the show European Vacation. Grew up watching that movie.
Classic.
So I just getting through the countryside in the Highlands felt very much like I was living in European Vacation.
Yeah, and I loved how we could just like stop on the side of the road and get out and just take it in. Like
And
that's
take
when we would
pictures,
do that.
yes.
Because we weren't really on a schedule necessarily.
Yeah.
So we would just pull over if something was pretty enough, and we would just get out and start.
And a
taking
lot of
pictures.
tourists were doing it, although we weren't like in a tourist trap.
No. Yeah. Just
Although driving was like the most dangerous thing you could do in this country. Like it was dangerous.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
We expected that.
but here's
but-
the thing, I mean, 1-lane roads are.
But what I didn't expect were the 1-lane roads in the country.
Oh man.
yeah, they have what's called passing place. They have signs for it, so the roads are so narrow that they literally like carve out these little like semicircles areas that you pull off to the side of this
Like
little narrow
a
road.
mini shoulder.
Yeah, mini shoulder, and people just know to let each other pass. And there's signs that say passing place, so you know that you're approaching a place where you need to kind of get over and let somebody else come that's coming the other way.
So
That was interesting.
Yeah, so like we knew obviously about driving on the wrong side of the road, the
And
wrong side of the car,
Yeah.
but it was the single lane roads that we weren't prepared for, and Kajal did so much of the driving.
Thank you, Concho.
Yeah. Because like
Because-
literally like a work van would be coming towards you.
Oh, and
You
speaking
knew it would
of,
fit both.
there were like only compact cars for the most part.
Oh yeah, I think we saw like 2 trucks the whole trip.
Yeah. This was not the sort of trip that you could take a bigger
four-wheel drive vehicle or anything of that sort. But yet they have transport vehicles and stuff go down these 1-lane roads too. That You're like, if you don't give way, you're gonna get in the way.
Yeah, give way.
So what else? Anything other than what we've mentioned? Standouts.
Fig and Thistle restaurant was amazing.
Fig and Thistle, which was
spend a day
Inverness.
talking about food.
That was Inverness.
Yes, it was Inverness.
So delicious.
Great food and great desserts.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we wanted to try haggis. That was a big thing, and we did. What did we think first of all of haggis?
Okay, being the meat eater of the group here, I thought it was okay. Like there was several different versions. I guess I could tell you that I'd had. You think all haggises are created equal? They're not. It's no different than any other type of meat that you're eating. It's different.
Some of it was deep fried,
right?
Like little truffles.
Like you had truffles haggis, and that was sauces dipped with truffles, and it's all different. But like the Makers and Mash, where we went,
but what would you compare it to? I couldn't. I tasted it. I think in Glasgow, and then I was done with it.
Yeah.
And I was glad that I tried it. But I can't quite put my finger on what we.
Would you call it like a seasoned sausage of some sort?
I would.
Yeah, but I'm trying to like compare it to a taste, a flavor.
Almost like a comparable to chorizo. Sorry.
Oh, that's probably a good one.
It's another because they combine it with chorizo and like potatoes or oats, and every restaurant did it differently.
That's probably the best
and seasoned it a different way.
Yeah, I mean, I could take it or leave it. It wasn't like overwhelmingly bad, but it wasn't like, oh god, I gotta order this.
Yeah, I gotta have more of this.
It's not something you're gonna have every meal. Yet it's gonna, if you have a chance to have it,
we
you
had to
should
try
have
it because we were there.
Sure.
So tell us about the breakfast place that we tried first.
In Glasgow.
Yeah.
We were. I think it was the day we left. Maybe can't remember, but it was called the Wilson Pantry.
Yes.
10 out of 10.
Okay, so what did we try there?
We tried black pudding.
Black pudding. That was another dish that we needed to.
So if you've seen videos of like what they call a quote unquote full Scottish breakfast, you get the baked beans, the fried eggs, the black pudding, the bacon, which is really ham. They call it bacon, but
right?
It's like ham.
It's a Canadian bacon.
Yeah. So the black pudding was like, it looks like a burnt piece of sausage, but the texture of it is like cornmeal, like a corn muffin.
Almost like a cornbread.
Cornbread.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's shaped like a piece. A
it
sausage
looks
patty.
like a burnt sausage patty, but it tastes.
It's soft and it tastes like corn, like a corn muffin.
It looks like a hockey puck, but it tastes like a.
It looks like a hockey puck.
Tastes like cornbread.
But what was it?
Tastes like cornbread.
But I loved it.
Tastes like cornbread.
I put some butter on it to see if it would taste any
Tastes
better.
like cornbread. Made it probably real rich too.
And I asked the
tastes
server,
like
I was
cornbread.
I was like, you guys put butter on this? And she goes, no. Like,
tastes like cornbread. That's only an American thing, I think.
But
hey, tastes like cornbread.
You do what you do. You do you, Lou. It's like you said.
Tastes like cornbread.
So in my mind, I'm like, I can put butter on this sucker. And
tastes like cornbread.
Sure, it's okay. I mean,
tastes like cornbread.
Glad I tried it. The Eggs Benedict there was
tastes like cornbread. Oh, Eggs Benny.
Eggs Benedict
tastes like cornbread.
Yeah,
tastes like cornbread.
Unfortunately, theirs was like the best I think we had the whole trip.
Tastes like cornbread.
So every place after that wasn't as good. So we're like,
tastes like cornbread.
Wilson Pantry's mochas were legit.
Yes. Tastes like cornbread. Tastes like cornbread.
Oh yeah.
Tastes like cornbread. Good.
What was Glasgow? Was that Johnny Fox's?
I think it was Johnny Fox's. Yeah. Johnny Fox's.
No, Oran Moore.
Oran Moore. That's right. Oran Moore.
It was recommended by someone we met at the hotel.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good call. And it was in that real social district of Glasgow. I can't remember what the name of it was. I have it on my itinerary. Not Allen Station, but Ashton Lane.
That's right.
Oran Moore.
Oran Moore had fantastic onion rings, and that's where I tried the haggis.
So
yep.
good.
And the main beer, Tenants.
Not bad.
Not bad at
Innocent
all.
Gun was good too.
Big
Look, I
fan of
like
Tenants.
Innocent Gun. I was more of an Innocent Gun fan.
I was surprised at how delicious the Italian food in Scotland is. Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Look, that's
What's with the Italian food? It's so good.
They did it right.
What is going on?
They did it right.
Oh, another main dish. So we did the haggis, we did the black pudding. Yep. I was determined to try the sticky toffee pudding. That was a dessert.
Fig and Thistles was next level.
Yeah, it was.
Unbelievable. Like, I need to get the recipe and turn it into a holiday staple
That's
here.
going to go for Thanksgiving.
But
Sticky
like
toffee
every
pudding.
place we ate at had that as an option.
Oh, every place had it on their menu.
Toffee pudding.
Sticky
was
toffee
really
was
good.
the
But the best tiramisu I had, as you guys know, because you were with me, was Vittoria. I'm assuming I'm saying that right. It's either Vittoria or Victoria on the bridge in Edinburgh. true Italian restaurant with.
Oh, that's two different places.
No.
The bridge was in St. Andrews.
No.
Vittori was in.
I thought the name of it was Vittoria on the Bridge. No.
No.
Okay, sorry. Vittoria, but it was like authentic.
That was
like,
in Edinburgh.
Italian servers.
That was in Edinburgh.
And that had the best tiramisu.
So good.
Unreal.
So good. All right, awesome. So we're going to take a break. When we get back, we have got some listener feedback. We have some hot takes. And then we're going to talk about some of the things we would maybe do differently on our trip.
Hey, listeners. Do you like judging people as much as we do?
Then judge us.
To submit your criticisms and complaints about our show, you can reach us at gotohell@bazinga.biz.
For all other comments, questions, or suggestions about future episodes, drop us a line. Send us a text from our website at thebestofgenx.buzzsprout.com and click on the link just above the show notes.
Or email us at thebestofgenx@gmail.com.
And we're back.
Hello.
What up?
I have some listener feedback.
Okay, that's cool.
This one stood out to me because it mentioned our last episode with Andy, which I felt so bad about. But this is from Christy B. from Tenafly, New Jersey. She says, I love how you open the door to genuine stories and honest conversations. So fun with your dynamic as siblings at the helm. It's the kind of candid, open-ended vibe that keeps me tuning in. And sound problems aside, I loved your latest episode with Andy about pelvic health. So much great information. I wish I'd known sooner. All the real talk about navigating these issues in Gen X adulthood totally got my attention, and I really wish more conversations like this were happening. Thank you.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you, Christy. Appreciate that so
thank
much.
you, Christy.
Good job, Mary Beth.
Good job.
You
Good job, Boo.
Good job, Andy.
Good job, Andy.
Uh-oh. You know what time it is.
Uh-oh.
Time for some hot takes.
Let's do it.
Josh, you're a guest. You go first.
Okay, I do have a hot take. I'm glad this is brought up. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and disagree with American ice cream today. Gelato is better than American ice cream.
It's definitely going to be hot. Josh is coming in hot.
And let me tell you something. Madagascar vanilla is better than the French vanilla. Mm-hmm. It's changed my life. Pistachio ice cream has been like a mainstay for me. If I have a sweet tooth, that's what I kind of go to. I normally have and of course, my love has expanded my sweet tooth since we've been together. But at the same time, I didn't really expand my taste buds to anything other than like just regular basic American ice cream. Mm-hmm. Since we went on this trip, it has changed my life. American gelato is not as good, or I'm sorry, American ice cream is not as good as gelato. I've said what I said, and I'm staying by my statement.
I'm not a big vanilla fan, but Madagascar vanilla is far superior to French vanilla anything.
As you were.
And then I think the combo of that and pistachio, that's the first time I'd ever tried pistachio. When Josh let me try it, it was so good.
I loved it.
So good.
I love it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Mary Beth, would you like to go next or me?
My hot take. Okay. I have to say that the most unfriendly of places to the smoker is the airport. Look, whatever your campaign against smokers is, I just don't think there is enough understanding for the traveling smoker. I was going to say in this country, but now that I've been abroad, it's kind of the same thing. It's just not reasonable to expect smokers to go so long.
To be on 8-hour flights.
My boo loves customs twice.
Look.
Yeah.
So I counted it up on the way back. We got back Thursday early evening. It had been 15 hours. Like, our flight on the way back was a little longer. So it wasn't just that flight, but it was like, you got to get to the airport early, you go through security, and then it's not really safe to leave and come back, yada, yada.
It was 10 hours, ladies and gentlemen. 10.
It was 15, babe.
Was it 15?
Yeah, because by the time
Oh.
we got into Atlanta airport, by the time we got through customs,
I didn't give you enough credit for that.
we barely made our connecting flight.
That's right. Yeah, that's less than a half hour.
Which
difference.
our flight from Atlanta to Louisville was thankfully pretty short, so I could handle it by then. But by the time we landed in Louisville, I had been 15 hours without a cigarette.
Puppies
Look,
were ready to be kicked.
you know what? I have been in airports where they have a quote smoking section. And let me count Atlanta to be one of these. There's always twice as many employees standing around doing nothing as there are people working. You can take a couple of those employees and stand them next to an exit near the security checkpoint. If a person's already been through security, give me one or two employees to man an exit so people can have at least one cigarette before they get on their flight, their connecting flight. Just the unfriendliest place for a smoker to be, even above hospitals, for God's sake.
I remember after being in Scotland, this is off the topic of smoking, but I remember we were like, Scotland people are so welcoming and nice. And then you get to the Atlanta airport on the layover and you're like, yeah, we're back in America.
Yeah, you knew.
Okay.
It's like you
attitude
knew.
had shifted.
So we were in
That's
line
right.
for
That's right.
customs after we just landed, and my ears had popped quite a bit. And I didn't realize that people could overhear me, but I said something like, the familiar scream of the American airport security worker. It's good to be back in the States. And everyone started laughing. I was like, I didn't realize I said it that loud.
And everybody heard you.
But when you get back to America, boy, you can tell a difference.
Yeah,
there
you
are
just ask a
workers
simple
who,
question, like, it's over there. It's like, get out of my face.
yeah, why are you here?
Yeah.
Hate you. A bunch of uneducated people, like getting off on the fact that they have power over you in your experience. Yeah, that's the American way. But that's my hot take.
Okay. My hot take is the 24-hour news cycle is a net negative for society.
Absolute.
Touche.
Thank you, sir.
Raising my bone cup here.
It promotes stress and anxiety through constant
Fear.
I would say like sensationalized reporting.
Yep.
Catastrophizing.
Yes.
People just feel helpless. They feel paralyzed, like watching this crap, and it's like this need to fill airtime with just all this.
Yeah, and because we've become so
diluted-
desensitized,
Yeah.
it has to be as catastrophic as possible. They have to make everything sound.
It's like blurring fact and opinion. It's the delusion.
Overlapping.
Oh, what was
Excuse me,
that?
God?
Is that you?
God?
This is me. Josh.
Yeah, diluted, repetitive content. It just drives me crazy.
I agree.
Touche.
It's the worst.
It is.
It's the waste.
Aye.
Okay,
I
so let's switch gears here about what we would do differently. Now, just because we loved it doesn't mean we nailed it. There were definitely some moments where we thought, next time we're, packing smarter, planning better, skipping this or that. So what would be on your do differently list?
I need to get out in front of this and just thank Joe for the itinerary that he did put together.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. Because let me tell you something. He put together one of the best round trip events like in this country that we could have probably hoped to have for a first round trip here. So kudos to you, Joseph, for that. That was awesome.
thank you, sir.
I think the only thing that I would really kind of want to do more of was stay in the Highlands a little bit longer than what we did.
Yeah, I have that too.
Yeah,
And look,
same.
just to kind of be there in that moment and be in the landscape for a couple more days longer than what we did.
Yeah.
Like you had mentioned, the ferry pools and
Yeah,
Manor Store
so
and,
because
like,
we
all
didn't
that
get to
and-
hike up to Old Manor Store, and we didn't have time to hit Fairy Glen. However, I forgot to mention in my favorites, the standout for me, which was, and I'm saying this the way the bartender at that particular stop said it. He said it was Sligaken.
Sligaken.
That's
That's it.
it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
Okay, so the Sligaken Bridge and this sort of ferry pool-esque
Yes,
type
yes.
thing Kajal and I went down. We stuck our faces in the water for good luck. It was cold and rainy. It was just the kind of weather we were there for.
Sure.
And that was probably one of my favorite
Absolutely.
moments.
I can't disagree with that. That was fun.
But yeah, just the Highlands in general just was so gorgeous and had so much to offer. And it had the quaint kind of feel that I was going for. And so if I had to do it differently, I would probably subtract some Edinburgh time and add to Inverness, Isle of Skye.
I can still remember that old guy, like in his living room or like his little sun porch or whatever, looking, and he kind of waved to us. We were parked over on the side. He was like waving to us. I was like, man, that's cool.
Yeah, like what in the world? What life are you living where you look out your front living room window and see Glencoe?
Just see like standard passerbys that
so
just
like
unbelievable.
So the listeners know these towns and villages were so like remote.
Yeah,
you would see a house like every 10 miles, and I remember asking everybody in the car, "Go, how do these people get their mail?"
It had to be by
just
like carrier pigeon,
yeah,
bro.
it was just so remote and just kind of out there in the middle of nowhere, and the roads were really narrow.
Send a raven.
I was like, "Where do you have?
Yeah.
How do they get their trash picked up?
Right.
How do they get their mail?"
So gorgeous.
They have to have burnt it. I mean,
I literally felt like I was in a scene of like Game of Thrones. Every
Had
time
to-
we drove through
Yes, yes.
That's exactly what it was like.
So I had the same thing, Mary Beth. Maybe stay less time in Edinburgh, which is nice, and there's a lot of attractions, but everything's just right there. And more time in Glasgow or the Highlands, I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that I totally bought into the hype
For sure.
of Edinburgh. I was so looking forward to that the whole time.
I think.
And the Victoria Street, Royal Mile, Edinburgh Castle,
Coburn Street, the Milkman, all those attractions, and
Yeah.
Scott Monument, and
I'm glad we saw it and all that.
Absolutely.
But now that I know the features on the like iPhone 16, because Kajal could take our picture and then literally just cut people out of the picture so it looked like we were the only ones there. I'm like, I've been fooled.
Right.
TikTok had me fooled as far like I expected Edinburgh to be just so much smaller and so quaint and so historic, but it was super touristy
And busy.
and
as
Like
that
it was-
one driver told us, it was mobbed.
It was
it was
mobbed.
mobbed.
Yeah,
It was
tons of people.
electrified.
It's still cool though. I mean, I'm still glad we did it, but yeah,
Oh,
maybe,
for sure.
maybe less time there.
Yeah.
I hate that we missed the Eileen Dolan Castle. I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd do that. I'd probably plan that. And then better planning of the tickets, I would say, like Edinburgh Castle. It's like we got
The
there.
timing was a hard thing to kind of decipher through,
It's like we
man.
got there, and it kind of hit me. I was like, oh crap, you got to do that a day ahead.
Yeah.
And then the way I did it, I thought was like I guess the traditional way to do it. I did it through the hotel link, which was different. So that was like a different tour. I didn't realize that at the time. And then so you guys didn't get a ticket. So that kind of sucked. I hated that part.
Yeah.
Yet then again, too, timing is everything with trying to plan out some of these trips with going to these cathedrals and castles and stuff. I mean, some of the things that we'd seen was like what 470 A.D. 1200 A.D. Like some of the structures you seen were just like amazing. It's like and these cathedrals and the universities and just seeing all the architecture.
Yeah, the architecture was unreal.
It's second to nothing you've ever seen in your life.
The level of detail on some of the things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Felt the kinship in the
Dunvegan
castle. Of course.
They had this like it was all about the MacLeod clan. We had this like
Was that Dunvegan or was that?
Dunvegan.
Oh, Mary Beth, it's Dunvegan.
Dunvegan.
The locals call it Dunvegan.
Oh, I thought that was Cawdor.
We Americanized it by calling it Dunvegan.
You know what? It may. No, I think it was Dunvegan. Yeah, and Dunvegan had this like little room where you can go in and watch a little video, and it was the MacLeod clan, and he said, "Do you feel the kinship inside the castle?" And so Josh and I like made it a trope for, like the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
We'd be in a pub. We're at Greyfriars Pub, Bobby, and I was like, "Hey, Josh, do you feel the kinship inside this pub?" So if you hear us say that around Christmas time, it's like an inside joke.
Yeah, we felt the kinship in the castle as we speak.
Yeah, I felt
It was cool to see Cawdor Castle, which I used to teach Macbeth.
Yeah.
And of course, there are just stark differences between the fictional Macbeth in Shakespeare's play and historical Macbeth. So I don't want to confuse the two, but it was just neat to see that castle.
Yeah, the drive leading into that castle was really neat. If you remember,
Oh yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
really scenic too. So that was kind of
So
cool.
beautiful.
And I'm still kind of bummed that you didn't get to get a book. Like we even went to a couple bookstores where she had walked in and like saw some of the bookstores that had like old Shakespeare stuff in there, and then what they were trying to sell these books for were like astronomical, like really seriously. So,
Yeah, and in Edinburgh, one of the goals was that I had was to go into some secondhand bookstores, and I did, and I saw I held in my hand a first edition of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and a book of Shakespeare's songs, and so that was kind of neat. But it was too expensive, but it was just cool to have in my hand and see that. Oh, out of 500 copies, this is copy 472, and
right.
That was pretty neat.
Do you guys feel like you would have packed differently? I feel like I would have packed differently.
I would
Kind of like knowing what I know now.
Yeah, I probably would have too.
I would have probably eliminated a couple of jeans
Yeah.
and just lived in leggings the whole time.
Yeah. I could have easily wore the same thing.
Knowing with what type of weather
Yeah.
that was there, if you were able to kind of plan and make sure you had like an idea of what the weather was going to be like, to kind of maybe pack less stuff that's going to be heavy, cold, or because I did pack a couple things that were for windy days and being kind of blustery cold.
Yeah. So the strategy was we all packed one big check-in bag and
Yep.
then one carry-on bag, and I maxed out my check-in bag. I mean, it was like busting at the seams at like 50.4 pounds before we got
So
to the
you pushed the
airport.
limit. Yeah.
We were pretty good, and we purposely took carry-ons, which we don't normally take,
Right.
that just had like one or two pair of shoes in it so that
Yeah,
we had
yeah,
room
yeah.
for souvenirs. So I would suggest doing that.
We did pack lighter than what I thought we were going to pack.
Yeah, as far as pounds.
I'm usually an overpacker, even on like 2-day
I
trip
am
work
too.
trips. So because I packed all that stuff, I wanted to wear it all. So that was my issue. Is I think I got all but one outfit or one shirt I wore.
I would
I
have
could easily wore the same outfit a
exactly.
few times.
I would have worn the same thing as over, and
Sure.
I didn't do that.
Yeah. So that's the stuff I would have done different.
But it did leave us room. The way we packed it did leave us room for souvenirs. So
Oh, let's talk about souvenirs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Josh,
As I'm holding one of the souvenirs now, having a cool beverage is a bone cup. Cheers,
looks like
Joseph.
it was carved out of a tusk.
you're gonna hear us clank it.
There you
Sounds
go.
just like a clink in
And
Game of Thrones.
Thank you, because they're the bone handle cups. They were prop cups, I guess that went on the show.
The main prop company of the show.
Yeah, and these things are awesome, by the way. Fully
They look
used,
so
fully usable.
I feel like Jon Snow right now.
I do. I feel like I need like a
Drinking
sword.
ale at Castle Black.
That's right.
That's right.
We got some magnets.
Yeah, fridge magnets. I got a couple of those.
Mal drives a Jeep, so we got her a Scottish duck
And a Loch Ness.
and a Loch Ness duck.
duck.
Don't get me started on the rubber duck thing.
Rubber
with
duckies.
Jeeps. I'm still pissed about that.
What?
I used to have a Jeep in high school and college, and I hate that it's
and
turned
that-
into this rubber ducky thing.
Oh yeah.
But we did get some good stuff from like St. Andrews.
Oh, yeah.
May or may not be missing some rocks at the Loch Ness Creek.
We
or
did
Loch
steal
Ness-
some
We
rocks.
still some rocks on the
Yeah,
shore.
we-
the old course at St. Andrews.
Oh, yes, I
we
got
stole
some-
the road hole.
I got some heather.
Heather,
I-
some grass. I picked up one rock from that
I got
little
the
rock
flower. Yeah, that's right. That's
pad.
right.
17, yeah.
We were skipping rocks. I may or may not have put some in the pockets.
Yeah, I got some golf souvenirs for Dad and some of, like my cousin and my uncle.
And just being in that vicinity and just seeing everything and just taking everything in, just you knew the climate was different, you knew the atmosphere was different, just the feeling of being there was just, it was kind of majestic, It was kind of like a different vibe all along, It felt great. It felt great to be there. It felt good to be on the other side of the world.
But listen, people, don't freak out. There's no shortage of souvenir shops in Edinburgh. It's like
Oh,
every
God,
second or
there-
third store was like a Taste of Scotland souvenir shop.
I felt like I could have.
You had every opportunity to get a souvenir in Edinburgh.
Exactly. You could have bought your own kilt. You could have bought your own Highland coo and brought him home.
Yeah.
You could have bought a goat. Yeah, I'm sure they would have passed away with a goat. You could have done anything. You could have
Yeah.
bought anything there.
Yeah.
Couple of things. I think you learn a lot when you travel with people, even if they're close family. There was one thing I was tired of hearing.
Me.
I have one guess.
What is it? Let's hear it.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Gorgeous!
Can we hear it? Can we hear it from the original?
It was gorgeous.
Gorgeous! That was so funny.
You know, after the first 2 times, I was like, oh, that's cute. And then the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th time, I was like,
I think there was a moment where Joe was like, "Look, I'll give you 10 pounds if you stop saying gorgeous." And like 10 seconds later,
It's like, Josh,
it didn't happen.
Hey,
I
Josh,
was like,
Josh, you have a pistol back there? Are you sitting right behind me? Can you stick the
can
pistol
hear
in
it.
the back of my head, please?
the fun that we had,
Our
though.
silent fourth guest.
Yeah.
Not so silent fourth guest.
Okay, that was one.
That was one. And then we have to talk about the Scotland flu.
The foot.
It started with me. And I think it was the night before we headed to St. Andrews because we were leaving Inverness.
Yeah.
We had fans in the room and we had slept with the window open just to get some cool air. And I started feeling like
Because you were so hot from your perimenopause.
I knew it was sickness. And because I kept
You
saying
can
to you,
feel that coming. Like your
I could
throat
feel it
Yeah.
coming.
and stuff.
I knew my throat was feeling weird. And then the next morning I was like, feel my forehead. I think I have a fever. And then all of y'all were denying it.
I didn't deny it.
I didn't deny it. I was
the
just like,
record.
please, no. Just no. Not here on the trip of a lifetime. Just no.
I was trying to deny that I was getting sick. But then it just like swept through our
Yeah, it took
traveling
us-
party. So by St. Andrews, when you guys were on the golf course,
Yeah.
I was taking a nap in the car
Mm-hmm.
because I just had fever, all over body aches, terrible congestion, couldn't breathe
Yeah,
through my
bit
nose.
by the Highland Coo.
Just felt so terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And so it started with me, and then it hit you,
Yeah.
and then it hit Kaj.
Yeah.
And Joe, as I understand, just last night you
Just
started
last
feeling
night.
better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Josh and I had recorded this yesterday, we would have sounded very different. We were in bad shape. Up
I
until
probably
just
sounded
yesterday.
like a hog in a coal pile, if you know what that sounds like. It's just like, apparently she said that I was snoring so bad that I was chewing rocks or something.
I said that it sounded like both of us had been eating gravel for breakfast
Yeah.
since we were
it
kids.
was tough, man.
Yeah, so we were in bad shape, and
It was
so I
tough.
think you just said, Joe, that you're feeling a little.
Yeah, just late last night I felt it in my throat. But to be fair, you stuck it to your credit. You stuck it out the first day in St. Andrews on Saturday.
Yeah.
I did the best I could.
We went through the cemetery. We ate lunch out at the Criterion outside.
That was so good too.
But then Sunday you were toast.
I was
Yeah.
out for the
And
count.
I absolutely hated that you didn't get to take that bridge pick with us because I was so excited.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Srokin Bridge.
But I was excited for you guys. So if there was going to be any time of the trip that I would miss, like I was fine to miss the Sunday walk through the course
Yeah.
because
But you got to see the course on Saturday. We ate.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
We ate at the bridge.
The bridge
which
was
a Mediterranean
delicious.
That was a
place right off the
fantastic
18th
restaurant too, by the
fairway,
way.
and we went to the one underbar right underneath it. Yeah, so you did pretty good on Saturday.
yeah, I held it out, but it was
Aye.
tough
We went
because
to
I
the
just.
cemetery where we saw the old Tom Wars. gravestone.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
was pretty cool.
But I felt terrible. And so the sickness just spread through our group.
Yeah, the Scotland flu is not kind to anyone.
I don't know what
Just
it
letting
was.
you know that.
I'm calling it the Scotland flu.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
what it was.
We don't know what it was either. It was just a bad cold.
I think
Ter-
it was the Four Seasons in a day.
It could have been 4 seasons in a day
I
too.
remember we were walking down. Excuse my language. We were walking down that little windy, like cobblestone road by the cemetery in St. Andrews, and I needed a bathroom really bad, and I had to pee so bad. And of course, they call it toilets there.
Yeah.
As we know, they don't call it restrooms or bathrooms. So this old couple was walking across us, and I was kind of lagging behind because it was like a dissension. It was like it's harder for me to walk with my knee downhill than it is uphill, believe it or not. And so I'm like just hobbling downhill, and everybody else is like way ahead of me. I go, Josh. I go, if there's no toilets at the end of the road, we're fucked. And this old guy looked at me. I don't know if he was local, but he started smiling.
Oh, that was classic.
Yeah, I made sure I said it loud enough for him to hear me.
But yeah, we did. You'd have to walk like a country mile, like anywhere, like you had to go, like even in Edinburgh, sorry, like taking a bus. The bus would only take you so far, and then you had to
Get off
walk.
and walk, yeah.
Yeah, so like I was prepared for the walking, but I underestimated the terrain.
Terrain, yeah. Because like
So-
Dean Village was a beautiful, tough walk.
Sure.
it was so uneven and downhill and elevated and
Yeah, all of Edinburgh is just like on a slant.
yeah.
So it felt like,
Yeah.
and plus, like by that point, by the time we got to Edinburgh, 3 of the 4 of us were sick.
Yeah.
And so,
I think this is a good segue into like what do we not like, right?
yeah.
We should get into that.
Yeah. Like I honestly didn't care for Edinburgh the way I thought I would. And
Yeah, I second that too.
it was just a mix of modern and old and just not what I expected. It very touristy, too many people.
It was a little bit more expensive than like Glasgow.
Totally more expensive. It just felt, and then of course the buses, like, yeah, the bus system, it works very efficiently, yada yada, but it's like
It kind of got confusing too. Like if you're
it was a
looking
little confusing. You catch on, but
Yeah.
you drive on a bus. You're riding on a bus for 20 minutes, and then you get on your stop, and then it's like a 11-minute walk to your actual destination.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I told Josh, I was like, there was so much in Edinburgh that I had wanted to do, but I felt like so much time was wasted getting to your destination.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's-
Because we intentionally didn't have a car there. We took
Yeah.
our car back.
And nor would I have wanted
No.
one.
I think
the
we did the right
roads were
thing.
too
Man, look.
crazy.
You couldn't pay me enough to drive in Edinburgh.
yeah, because they had a mixture of the big tour buses plus a little tram thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
it's-
it would have been
And those
such a
Lothian
mess.
buses, I did like that they had the 550, like 5 pounds, like
Yes.
per person all day unlimited. I did like that part, so you didn't have to worry about it. But to your point, it was like they were very strict on this is the bus we're stop. This is the bus stop we're ending this trip at. You're on your own after that. They don't go any further for you to get you closer. It's just that's where it is and that's where
Yeah.
they're stopping. And so you might have a 0.6 mile walk after or a 0.4. So we kind of
0.7.
we were kind of like strategically figuring out let's go to this bus stop versus this one because we'll have a 0.6 or a 0.2 versus a 0.6.
Sure, and you have to gauge
So you
that
kind
too.
of had to like think. You
Yeah,
didn't think too much
sure.
on some of that.
Sure.
And because we were sick and trying to figure out the bus navigation, by that point, I think Josh and I were just so ready to kill others and each other.
Yeah.
It was just like, I'm ready to get the fuck home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree, though. I thought the TikTok spots in Edinburgh, especially, were tad underwhelming. So, like the Milkman, I was just dying to see this place, the Milkman on Coburn Street, and it was just, just a typical. The Mocha was not very good. There was not a lot of place to sit, so I thought
Yeah.
that was too tight.
That's another thing I was going to mention too. Is like some of the quarters there. Like if you were going to like Milkman or
Yeah.
something like it was not as spacious as it or parking.
Yeah, they
And
weren't used to
Jesus,
the big old fat
parking.
Americans.
Right.
Parking was an issue
Oh,
too.
yeah, parking
like,
sucked, I
like
thought.
even when we drove, like wherever we went to go,
Glasgow.
Parking was an
Inverness.
issue.
Portree.
Well, I guess Glasgow
Thank
wasn't
you.
as big a deal because we got to keep our car there right in front of the hotel. But like Inverness was tough. Like when
Yeah.
we go to dinners and stuff, it's like, where the hell do you park?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one night. As a matter of fact, it was parking at Johnny Fox's.
Oh yeah.
I had to go.
yeah.
Hey, I may or may not have fractured an occasional out of the country law.
Yeah, that was
and I can't confirm or deny that I'll do it again.
1,000% that was not an illegal parking spot,
It
but Josh
can't-
made it so.
Look, I made my own way.
I was like,
I gave way and I made my own
We
way.
let the girls go first, and me and Josh look back. We're like, yeah, we might not see this car when we get back after
And
dinner.
look,
Yeah, parking was difficult. And I will say, it has to be one of the most dog-friendly countries I've ever seen.
that was true. Greyfriar Bobby was like
However,
right.
it is not friendly to handicap. Like disabled people in general. Like forget about accommodations, forget about ramps, forget about elevators or lifts.
Lifts.
A
Lifts.
lot of
but not
places had
elevators.
lifts, but
Sure.
they weren't everywhere. And like it was hard to believe that a country I mean accommodating for pets, like every restaurant had people
was
brought
able to
their
bring
dogs.
the dog in. Right.
Every
Right.
place, even Culloden had dog bowls set out for,
Yeah,
for
they
drinking.
Did. They did. Yeah,
They
you're
did.
right.
But
Oh,
so it was super accommodating to dogs, not so accommodating to the handicap.
No.
Mary Beth, you have to let me do the
Yeah.
old English guy thing
Please.
at Greyfriar Bobby's. Josh and I were sitting out. They had outdoor seating, which was like on this slant sidewalk, which was funny.
We took a picture
We
tilted.
were so
Yeah.
tilted.
So
That's so
Mary
good.
Beth and Kaj were going to get their handbags made at the Islander. It was like 3 or 4
Oh, yeah,
shops
let's talk
away.
about that.
So Josh and I are just people watching, having a I think we had a tenants
pint
and
of
an innocent
Tennent's.
gun.
Yeah.
And Josh and I are just sitting there enjoying it. And by the way, we were there for an hour, and within the hour, we saw like 3 different seasons pass through.
Yeah.
It was like gray, cold,
Sun.
blue sky, warm. Then it
And-
was rainy.
and it was cold.
But anyway, this old couple from like England somewhere, because based on his accent, they walked by, and his older wife said something, and he turned around and he goes, "You can't bring dogs into the pub." I was like, I
So
cannot wait to
classic.
tell Mary Beth that. I cannot. Wait
It was so good.
cannot wait to imitate that. Sorry, I had to go there.
It was perfectly said too, because he said it the exact same
Yeah.
way. I'm like, really?
I didn't really like the uneven roads to walk on. That was kind of tough.
Yeah, it was.
Selfishly, because of the knee surgery.
Yeah, that was one thing that TikTok was definitely right about when it came to Edinburgh. Like, 4 blocks in Edinburgh is like your typical 1 block in a city in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably right.
Because you're talking about inclines,
yeah, very steep too,
very steep,
Hilly.
and even
cobblestone.
yeah. So it was like uneven terrain on your foot. How many times? Like I wasn't recovering from knee replacement.
you tripped
and
like
I
6
twisted my
times.
ankle many a time.
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to catch her like 4 or 5 different times from tripping, and
Yeah. I was
I'm
very,
like, "Are you okay? Can you walk?"
I was walking very gingerly in Edinburgh just because I was afraid of, because they had like little sunken in. You remember, they weren't like I don't know the best way to describe it, but the roads, like the cobblestone roads, sometimes would like sink into the middle.
That's what I'm saying.
they were
so,
offset.
so you kind of felt yourself straddling the
I
little.
twisted my ankle on those.
Yes, that was, and plus, it was raining that last night. It was like you could slip,
Yeah.
miss a step.
Yeah.
I also didn't like that there was a couple places I was really stoked about seeing, like the Mary's Milk Bar, which was a gelato place. Mm-hmm. They had just decided to close for a couple weeks because of that big festival that was there
Fringe
the week
Fest.
before.
Yeah, yeah.
They
So
were
we
like,
didn't-
we're done.
Yeah, so they just
We
like
need a
closed
break.
down for like 2 weeks, 10 days, whatever. So we get to do that. I didn't like that. Restaurants, mostly, if you guys realized it, most of the restaurants, their toilets were like downstairs.
Yeah, you had
Yes,
to go.
I had
that's
to
what
go
I'm
down.
saying.
You had to take a trip to go to the
You either had to
bathroom.
go, like Greyfire Bobby had it upstairs.
Yes,
Or
that's right.
they were like down in some basement, so you had to walk down
Yeah.
several
So
stairs to get
so
to
a lot of
the
times the
toilets.
restrooms were just like further
Yeah.
down or just a hike.
Yeah, they just weren't easily accessible.
And I remember like the one restroom that we had to, the toilet we had to go to where I had to actually close the door to let you out. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
could go, it was like, well, what?
I was like, Josh, back up. Or I had to back
yeah,
up. Or one of us
something-
had to back up. It
It
was so
was
narrow.
like such a tight quarters that, I know you're using the trough, but you're going to have to back up, bro.
Yeah, it was stuff like that. And then we had to pay to use a petrol station. We had to pay to use the bathroom in one of those, remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
They had the little swinging, whatever you call
Right.
it.
Yeah, I got stuck.
Josh
That
got
was a little
stuck.
I got stuck
Yeah,
in there.
imagine Americans or anybody else not in Scotland. Imagine like having to like tap your card to go to the restroom.
And
gas
anytime we
station.
were in a situation like that, I couldn't have felt more like a stupid American. I know people are just like thinking this about us.
Hey, man, if I had to pay to use the restroom here in America, I don't know how to act. I'd just go on the side of the building or something, or find a tree.
You actually did.
Yeah, you did at one of the bus
did.
stops.
I did. I had to go.
Village.
Yeah,
I did.
Good.
Hey.
call.
Oh, right. We couldn't
I-
find a restroom.
I cannot confirm or deny, Scotland peeps, that I used the facility
Of course, Josh is trying
on a
to,
tree.
Josh is trying to be all like secretive and conspicuous behind.
Dude,
some
he
huge
hid
bush.
in the shrubbery. It
I
was
know.
hilarious.
The funny part was I'm walking by him on the other side, and I can see through the bushes, and I go, "Hey, Josh!" Like just making everybody aware that Josh is over there, pissing away.
Hilarious. But that was another experience I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Speaking of our appointment at the Islander, where you can make your own Scottish handbag. Kajal and I did that. That was really worth it, I think. That was fun.
Have a nice handbag from that, too.
And you walk away with a beautiful handbag, and you just reserve your spot before you go. And once you get there, you can change your mind. You can choose the color of leather, the color tweed. We had a good time doing that. So I loved that about Edinburgh. That part for me did live up to the hype.
Good. Well, I'm glad.
I did enjoy that.
I enjoyed sitting and having a drink with Josh at Greyfire Bobby.
Man, look, Greyfire Bobby is my new hero.
It was cute.
It was a cute little place. The
That
dog
was good
statue. You
stuff.
touched the dog's nose.
Yeah.
For good luck. That was kind of cool.
I think, so we've covered the good, the bad, the jet lag, but let's zoom out for a second. So what does a trip like this mean when you're our age? Like, why does it hit different now than it would have in our 20s? Why travel at this stage, feels different? And
I think it's because that, we're not getting younger, right? We're Gen Xers. Well, I mean, I say that, we're just old enough to buy the ticket and take the trip.
yeah, so like we have the financial resources to do something like this, whereas we wouldn't have before. Or if we did, I don't know, maybe we wouldn't have appreciated it.
Or, I think we're at the stage in our life now where we can learn to appreciate it more because we're able to, right?
I'm proud of myself for being able to conquer it.
Yeah.
Yes, my body started to shut down halfway through the trip. I'm
Yes,
getting
it did.
sick.
Yeah.
But I did wonder if I could handle physically, and we talked about air conditioning and how I would feel. And we didn't have air conditioning in our hotel the final
Oh my gosh, that was awful.
3 nights, which was terrible. But
Let's not go on that tangent.
but
All in all,
I'm proud of myself for being able to handle it.
I am as well. I'm proud of us both for
It was not
surviving the trip, right?
It was not the kind of terrain for
It really wasn't. I mean,
your average person.
especially if you're handicapped, like Joe with a knee replacement here, walking up some of these hills. I'm like, man, my hat's off to you, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Like
I
literally
could've
the
done
day
it.
one of the trip, I was only like 6 weeks and like 2 days.
Yeah, man.
Into my
And-
surgery.
and-
Yeah, and I
recovery.
kept saying to him, like,
to be
once
able
we
to
got
do that-
sick, I was like, I'm not recovering from surgery, and Joe is kicking our ass.
I know.
He
He
is
was like,
kicking
he
our
owned
ass
it.
all
Like,
over
like,
this
like-
country.
Like
Yeah.
he owned it. Like he was like, I'll go. I got this. I got this. He would find a way. He would go up the stairs. He would go up the spiral staircase. I'm like, dude,
I'd see
really?
a gigantic staircase and be like,
I'm like, man, dude, he's going through.
Oh my! Listen,
I can see it online.
Oh, Edinburgh Castle had steps that we had to go up.
Yeah.
And I did it. I don't know how I did it.
I don't either, because the original plan was we were going to meet you up there
Yeah.
on the chance that they would let us in too.
Right.
And when it was raining all day that day, I looked at Josh. I said, "It is not worth it to,
To
schlep
go up there, take the trip up there, and say no.
up those stairs."
I did those steps, and there were hundreds. I did those steps, and I only stopped once. To
Hell to the no.
Hell to the no, no. To the no, no. Yeah. That was tough.
But I'm glad that, I'm proud of us for handling a lot of it, because it was otherworldly terrain.
Yeah, but when you think about the experience that we got to share, it was one of the things where you can't take back what you got to experience when you see the things that we got to see with the architecture, the experiences with the food,
The history.
the restaurants, the history. Like we got to see a 4th century United Kingdom flag or whatever, like 4 BC or some kind, or 4 AD or something.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
can't remember.
United Kingdom, but I know what you're talking about.
It was one of those
In
where it's
St.
like
Giles
it was,
Cathedral?
yeah, it was to shreds, but it was like, man, it was like a picture of this tattered looking
Yeah, it was really neat.
flag,
There was so
and
much we got to
just
see.
some of the things you don't imagine seeing ever again.
Yeah, I think for me, the trip definitely motivates me to go on more international trips, because it just really opens your eyes, in my opinion, to like how big the world really is.
Yes,
Because we're kind of stuck here in our own bubble, and like how people aren't really that different in terms of just like general behaviors and mannerisms, but you can tell by going there that they see things differently or they talk differently. So it's just, does that make sense what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So I think it just motivates me quite a bit. And to me, so that's neat to me.
how relatable the trip
Yeah,
was too.
it's like meaning people in Scotland visually they look like people like where we live,
Sure.
but their lived experiences are so different, and it kind of comes through in how they converse or like how they move, if that makes sense. It's just a different world.
As much as there
I'm anxious to see
was
more of that.
differences there were some similarities too that everybody kind of can relate to too.
Yeah.
From people who live here compared to people who live there. And
But I mean, the good thing about Scotland is there's not like a big language barrier, other than the fact that in some cases their accents were pretty thick.
Sure.
But for the most part, you can understand what people are saying. You don't have to negotiate that part. So yeah, it just
Yeah.
motivates me to go on more.
yeah, I
Same.
agree with that.
And in a few weeks, we have the Pacific Northwest that we'll be talking about.
That's right. We're going to Seattle.
P&W, baby.
P&W.
And then in
never
March, it's Aruba.
It's Aruba.
But that's another time.
Yeah.
Aruba.
Another show. Because I don't think we've talked about that yet.
No, I don't think we have.
But that's where we're heading next.
More camel coughs to be,
We didn't
thrown
even-
out
We
there.
didn't even get into the damn camel.
I
claws.
can't show you.
Do we
that
need
here.
to? Do we need to mention? I mean, you could do the camel cough, but because people can't see it, it's not going to have.
You can't.
Man, dude, look, people won't
Just
be able to see it.
describe. We should just describe what it
Video
is.
of it.
Well, I wish we could attach it to like the here, but like
So-
you can't do the justice of that.
So my
you know?
husband pulls out this imitation that I've never ever seen, called the camel cough.
But he swears up and down he's been doing it since he was a kid.
He says he's been doing it since he was a kid. I have never seen it.
I have cousins and family members that can attest to this.
So, and it cracks Kajal up, and so we're at a
right.
restaurant. Every
do it.
time we're at a restaurant, he has to do it.
I'm gonna do
Look,
it.
he's going to do it
I'll
anyway.
do it right now.
Oh, here we
Okay.
go.
I feel like I
Here
have
we
to
go.
narrate, so
Okay.
Josh turns to one side.
There you go.
He picks a side. He holds his lip, top and bottom lip out, and he shrugs his shoulders in such a way. And then he looks like a camel from his profile. Like his side view is stunning. Stunning.
I wish y'all could see it. It's fun.
So gross.
So fun.
But
It's
Kajal
probably
got
one of the
such a
grossest
kick
things
out
I've
of
ever
it.
done.
And he was doing this openly in restaurants. I'd be like, dude, just as long as you don't face
I
anybody.
had
else.
people like
And
laughing
the
at me.
s-
I loved it.
The seating situation was sometimes so tight, we'd be right next, like inches
Oh, yeah.
from another table, and Josh would like turn to that side
And like
to
face people.
them.
I know.
People were
I
like,
was like, I was just,
They were
just
eating.
face us, like face away from the other patrons. But no, he'd turn right toward the patrons.
I got all up in.
It was worth it.
It was fun.
It was my favorite part every single
It was
night.
good times.
Yeah, unforgettable. Glad I did it.
Glad we did it. That was good stuff.
Glad we
did
got
it
to do this
together.
together.
Right. Cheers.
Because listen, there's certainly times and trips like that, especially of that length, where you just start getting annoyed, or you're in the car for too long,
Absolutely.
or you get sick. But
Right,
at the end
right.
But at the end of the day, it was one of the most exciting experiences, special experiences I've ever had for multiple reasons that we
Yes.
described.
Same.
So I
Same
have
here.
no regrets.
No,
No regrets at all.
I loved it.
I did
loved every
too.
bit of it.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. Gorgeous.
On to the next one, Tree.
On to the next one. Thank you so much for listening to another piece of the Gen X experience worth saving. We proved this trip wasn't just about crossing Scotland off the bucket list. It was about proving we've still got the stamina, curiosity, and humor to make the memories. And now it's been immortalized in the annals of history. If you like what you heard, subscribe to the Best of Gen X wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. Josh, thank you.
Thank you, my love.
Joe, always a pleasure.